How's it going, you guys? AZ Plyo 21 back again with another episode here in our UFC save in WMMA 5. And here today, we have for you UFC on ESPN, USMAN versus Woodley 2. Happy you guys are able to join me here as we take a dive into Southern Africa for this UFC fight card. Main card can be seen here. Not the best on paper, but a main event that is quality. USMAN and Woodley going at it. Originally, USMAN was going to be taking on Leon Edwards, but Leon Edwards took the short notice fight against Adesanya for the middleweight championship. Tyron Woodley back from injury. He's been out for almost a year. He steps in. We have ourselves a main event. Prelims can be seen here. That's about it. Everything else is done. All of our emails are taken care of. Everything is good. Only thing that's left to do now is get straight into the fights. We also have PFL, Ryzen, Invicta also in action here today. A lot of other stuff going on. Bellator signed Wilson Heiss after I tried to, make a run for him. What kind of a deal did he end up signing? I mean, that's not about 4,000 over his value. It's not terrible. I'm not super bummed about it, but would have been a nice flyweight to get a hold of. All right. Everything's taken care of. Of course, we are working towards UFC 264, Holloway versus Fili. Main event, Max Holloway taking on Andre Fili for the featherweight championship in Hawaii. Co-main event, Amanda Nunes taking on Germaine Duranami for the women's featherweight championship. Also got Benavidez versus Da Silva for the flyweight title in our 3-title pay-per-view in Hawaii. Brunson versus Whitaker, Struve versus Rumble Johnson. A great card on tap for you from Hawaii. But let's go ahead and get this started. USMAN versus Woodley 2. In Southern Africa, everything is taken care of. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Our first prelim, Chris the Cut Honeycutt taking on Marc-Andre Barriault. Honeycutt 14-3-1 making his UFC debut. He's taking on Barriault, who is 11-5. And your winner is Chris the Cut Honeycutt. A win in his debut on a 3-fight winning streak, was the LFA champion. Gets a win here in his UFC debut. Up next, Juan El Guapo Espino, Ultimate Fighter winner, taking on Walking Trouble Ante Delija. Espino 9-2, already 40 years old, taking on Delija 17-4. And Delija gets the win via TKO early in the fight, round number 1. And he shows some respect to Espino. 9-3 now. So you got to wonder how much more the 40-year-old can take. Light heavyweight division now is Ray Sloan, undefeated, takes on Abdul Karim Edilov. And Edilov gets the win via unanimous decision. Gives Ray Sloan his first loss of his career. Da Un Jung taking on Jake Collier. I believe this is also the light heavyweight division. Un Jung 14-2. Collier is 11-5. Collier gets the win via TKO. Now Collier just fought at heavyweight and he lost. And he didn't look good doing it. Gets a big win here against a nice prospect in Da Un Jung. Themba Gorimbo taking on Jack the Hammer Marshman. In the welterweight division, Gorimbo 8-2, Marshman 24-9, and Jack the Hammer Marshman gets the win via TKO in round number 1. 4-4 in the UFC on a nice 2-fight winning streak currently. And he says he'd like to face off against Lyman Good. Don Magic Man Madge taking on Omar Morales in our next prelim. Madge is 10-3-1, Morales is 9-1. And Don Madge, 55 seconds into round number 2, gets a knockout victory over Morales. Undefeated in the UFC as well. 4-0 in the UFC is Don Madge. Maybe one to look out for. DeMarte the Wolf Pena taking on Taylor Lapilus in the bantamweight division. And your winner is DeMarte the Wolf Pena, still undefeated. Now 13-0-2. 2 wins here in the UFC. JP Buys taking on Merab Dvalishvili, here also in the bantamweight division. Buys 10-2, Dvalishvili is 10-5, and JP Buys, despite being the underdog, knocks out Merab Dvalishvili. Bokang Masunyane taking on Azamat Shukov, and what I think is a flyweight fight. South African Masunyane, so kind of a hometown boy here, taking on Shukov from Russia. And Masunyane gets a fantastic fight in and wins via knockout over Shukov. Now 8-1, and he calls it a fantastic fight and a career highlight. And Kazimulo Zulu taking on Tyson Nam, also in the flyweight division. 12-3, taking on 17-12-1, and Tyson Nam beats the hometown boy via unanimous decision and praises Zulu for his skill and toughness. Another flyweight fight as Zhalgas Zhumagulov takes on Jordan Espinosa. Espinosa favored, and Espinosa gets the win via split decision in ultimately what was a very poor fight. And he says that Roberto Sanchez is the one he wants to face off with next. Up next, also on the main card, that first fight, that flyweight fight, was the first one on the main card. Now, Lauren, the Pirate Murphy, takes on my future wife. She just doesn't know it yet. Macy, the future Miss Pelayo Barber. Lauren Murphy, number 11 in the flyweight division, coming off a loss to Caitlin Shukagian. Macy Barber, 7-1 in the UFC, 3 straight wins, Nakai, Kolakar, and then Aryan Lipsky. A minus 300 favorite is Barber. And Macy Barber beats Lauren Murphy via unanimous decision, beats the number 11 ranked fighter. Love to see it. And she's calling out Andrea Lee. Okay. Interesting call out. The number 1 ranked technically in our save. Johnny Walker in action against Eric, ya boy, Anders. Eric Anders, 8-4 in the UFC. Currently on a 5-fight winning streak. Antonio Nogueira, Gokhan Saki, Alexichuk. He's currently number 18 in the division. He takes on Johnny Walker, number 14, coming off a win over Tyson Pedro and then a loss to Alexander Rakic. Johnny Walker's favored, and Johnny Walker wins. TKO in round number 2 ends the 5-fight winning streak of Eric Anders. Up next, EZDS taking on Warley Alves in a battle of the welterweights here. EZDS is the underdog. Warley Alves, 15-4, number 16 in the division, coming off 2 straight wins, Enrique da Silva and Anthony Martin. EZDS, number 15 in the division, coming off a win over Neil Magny after losing to Mike Perry. Your winner in this welterweight bout is Warley Alves. Knocks him out with a knee in round number 1. Shouts out his gym. Co-main event time. The natural born killer, Carlos Condit, taking on a debuting fighter in Logan Storley. Or actually not a debuting fighter. 1 win in the UFC against Nikolai Alexakin. First round submission. Former Bellator fighter, Logan Storley, taking on Carlos Condit, the veteran of the Octagon, 9-10 in the UFC, coming off 2 straight wins. Lost to Diego Sanchez, beat Alberto Mina, beat Danny Roberts. Carlos Condit getting back into the thick of things. And an underdog to this 28-year-old prospect. Your winner in this co-main event is the natural-born killer, Carlos Condit, ending the hype train of Logan Storley, giving him his first loss of his career. Carlos Condit, 4-fight winning streak. He's back. A lot of respect for Logan Storley and praises his toughness. Nice. Main event of the evening, the Nigerian Nightmare KAMARU Usman taking on the chosen one, Tyron Woodley. Now, Woodley, of course, losing his title to KAMARU Usman, and in game, this is his first fight back. He didn't have any like comeback fight or anything like that, so Didn't have the fight against Burns. So, for Usman, he did pretty well. I mean, he was able to obviously beat Woodley, beat Covington, beat Masvidal in his first defense in here, and then lost a split decision to George St. Pierre for the title. And so he's making his way back up the ladder to get another shot at the title that he most recently lost. All right, it's main event time. Let's go ahead and get it going. This might be a very boring fight now that I think about it. Two wrestlers going at it. Usman going for a takedown. A beautiful T-bone suplex. Uh-oh. Arm triangle. Woodley blocks it. Standing them back up. Just a minute left to go in round number 1. In a clinch. Woodley out wrestles him. Trying to wrestle Usman to the ground. He can't do so. End of round number 1. 10-9 for Usman. Woodley wants to strike. Punch from Woodley fails to land. Usman gets a hold of him, and he gets a takedown. Greco-Roman slam. Already getting a little tired, too. Usman attempts an armbar. Woodley stops it. Round 2 comes to a close. Usman apparently up by 2 rounds. Side control now. Takes a knee to the ribs. Lack of progress stands him up. Throws a punch. He avoids it. Woodley up against the cage. And that's the end of round number 3. 10-9 to Usman. He's won all 3 rounds. Woodley isn't going anywhere. Woodley isn't going anywhere. Attempts to take him down, unsuccessful. Woodley's just getting outworked here. Kind of the same as the first fight that I was at. I went to that fight live. Gluttony, how's it going, man? Usman steps forward. This is going to end terribly for Tyron Woodley. Another slam, submission attempt. KAMARU Usman is going to 50-45 Tyron Woodley. Basically, again, Woodley's exhausted. Tries to go for a knee bar. Woodley blocks it. Another knee bar attempt. Uh-oh. And Woodley has to tap. Wow. Okay. So 5 rounds of pure domination, and then he gets a finish. Fight was rated as being average, so not a stinker like the GSP fight was. KAMARU Usman back in the win column. And he says he wants to fight Rory McDonald. Okay. Usman getting the win in front of 174 people in Southern Africa. That's tough. No popularity changes. Let's see. Performance bonuses. Let's give one to Alves. And let's give one to Marshman. Alrighty. A small profit, but a profit nonetheless on that card. Carlos Condit, the highest paid fighter on that. So again, Usman dominating Woodley. It's tough to see. Again, We'll update our rankings, take a look at our emails, everything else that we have to do, and then we'll go ahead and end this episode. Happy you guys are here. Making our way towards Holloway versus Feely. That is our next pay-per-view. Cody Stamann on the screen right now. Just came off a pretty tough loss. Forgot who he just recently fought. I think it was Pedro Munoz. But had a good showing in the fight before that. And then I think it was Pedro Munoz. No, it was Jimmy Rivera that he just fought. Jimmy Rivera getting a decision victory over Cody Stamann. Stamann definitely a good prospect though in the bantamweight division. And I forgot to do one of those predictions videos for the Whitaker-Till fight card. That kind of sucks. But it is what it is. Just going to go ahead and, keep playing my game, though, and recording for the YouTube people. As always, if you're on YouTube, be sure to like the video and subscribe. Be sure to leave a comment down below. Be sure to follow me on my Twitch channel. Stay involved, be able to watch live as I'm doing my thing. Should probably play more games, like just playing TEW, just playing WMMA 5 isn't going to get me that much. Like I can imagine there's going to be a point where, maybe you guys will start to get sick of WMMA 5 all the time, but I do want to keep growing my audience just so that way, more people come and watch, because it's cool when 3, 4, 5 people are watching, but I ultimately would love to get like some decent form of chat going, And I'm sure on a Wednesday afternoon, that's not the best time to, get that popping. Typically at night, or on the weekend is when, prime streaming opportunities. Alrighty. Now, we are currently in the process. Oh, look at that. We just signed Fedor Emelianenko. So that is a big deal. He's fighting Czech Congo literally tonight. And after that, he'll be with us. But, yeah. Let's go ahead and check our rankings. After the rankings, we'll look at our emails and the news. No update at heavyweights. Light heavyweight Johnny Walker moves all the way up to number 6. After beating Eric Anders, really? Okay. At middleweight, no movements. Welterweight, USMAN moves up to 3. Woodley goes all the way down to number 8. Warley Alves, number 11. Easy DS, number 20. Lightweight, no movement. Featherweight, no movement. Bantamweight, no movement. Flyweight, Espinosa moves up to 11. And Zhumagulov moves down to 10. Nothing at featherweight. At bantamweight, Megan Colley debuts, but I have to send her back down. Flyweight, Macy Barber is now number 4. She said she wants to fight Andrea Lee. Lee's fighting... to be announced. Who's Lee supposed to be fighting? Velasquez. That's right. Strawweight, no movement. Alright. Check these out. Yep. Fedor joins UFC. Van Soest got the win. Love to see that. Big fan of Tiffany Van Soest. I mean, she's been so busy too. That's the thing. Like, she started out 1-2. Boom. She's already gotten all the way up to 6-3. And she's low-level national. She always ends up being so popular. It's insane. She always ends up being super popular. Invicta. Let's see what happened at Invicta. Samara Santos. Michelle Aramdi. 4-0. Christina Williams. 6-3. Ladina Lanzer. Bantamweight, but yeah, she's probably fighting at featherweight. Magdalena Sormova. 10-4. Hatsu KAMARU. I see Cheyenne Buys there, 1-1. Irene Cabello. Alrighty. Next Invicta fight card. Badarek versus Mueller. She left to go to KSW. We signed her back up. She had 1 win. Heather Jo Clark retired. Alrighty. Zuma Golovk needs to be re-signed. Let's go ahead and do that. Ranked flyweight, always going to re-sign him. Ed Ruth, rival bids. We're the only one he's considering. Cyborg, we want to get Cyborg. I really don't want to go over 75,000. Logan Storley, let's go ahead and re-sign him. Musayev from Ryzen. We're the only one he's considering. Lacey Parlier, contract renewal. Went 4-1 on her Invicta contract. And in a year. That's impressive. June, August, November, March, June. That is impressive. High-level regional in Canada already. I mean, she puts on a good showing, you know? Well, who's to say she's not going to get called up soon? 4-1 in a year, that's really good. Omar Morales, 2-fight losing streak. See you later, sir. Marc-Andre Barrios, he's gone. Don Madge, re-sign him. He's 4-0 in the UFC. Kayla Harrison leaves PFL, so we now have Kayla Harrison. Jake Collier, he won. So we'll go ahead and give him another run out. Jack Marshman. Themba Garimbo. Just beat him. I'll give him 2 fights. There we go. Lauren Murphy. Definitely re-signing her. Michelle Aramdi. She's 4-0. Bantamweight, she's 30 years old. Alright, so it's Michelle and Lacey. Polsat and Red A Global weren't happy. Okay, let's see here. Hopefully Fedor wins. Fedor wins, that's good. It means he's coming into the promotion with a little bit of momentum, you know? Who do we even put up against Fedor, though? That's the thing. Like Blades? See if Blades can beat him? Get some of that popularity? I think that'd be ideal, considering Alexei Oleinik is already, you know, gunning for the title, and he's fighting for the title. Alrighty. Next fight card is Santos versus Gustafsson. That's why I can't wait until I can make the UFC Network a thing. I don't have to worry about these, you know, TV broadcasters bitching at me all the time. Simulate to next show. Skip ball. Hopefully he wins. He's a heavy favorite. Okay, that's good. So hopefully he just wins. Him versus Blades would actually be really good, you know, because Blades would more than likely win that. Blades would more than likely win that for sure. All right. Well, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you for joining me. I'm AZPlow21. Be sure to like the video and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitch so you can see all the live streams. I'll see you for the next one. Have a good one.